Good. Hello. And it's Sunday. So I've now get a break in the yard. So I want to show you the Versas. Obviously the 68 plate Versa versus the 16 plate Versa. So the 68 plate Versa is the 464 ones that I drive personally quite a lot. This was mine from this morning. It had to be taken back due to an intermittent fault on the doors. I'll start at the doors. The difference in the doors is the fact that when these doors are closed, open, the vehicle will not move. So the fault that I was having wasn't the sensor wasn't allowed to touch, so I couldn't get the handbrake off. So this is one of the major differences in safety on the 464. Ours are capacity to 41, the 41 seats on board, and 16 standing. One of those passengers can be a wheelchair user. Wheelchair bay is in exactly the same spot in this saloon. Our saloons are ever so slightly different. We have murals on the back. If you can guess which football ground that is, when I show you, you'll get an extra brownie point. The seats themselves, obviously, the Transdev maquette with a pink topper, and we have wireless charging on the back of the seats, on the top of the seats as well. So very handy for those who come on board. These are obviously a Mercedes-Benz engine. Again, if you can guess the football ground, I might give you a quid. These are a Mercedes-Benz engine. I believe they're 4 litres. I don't know what brake horse they are. I've heard rumours between 180 and 220, but I might be wrong on that. I'd have to have a look at the actual engine specification. All the seats have USB charging. Some of the seats on some of them have double USB chargers. Now, I don't know if that was like the original design or when they've been damaged, they've been changed to that. So at the moment, yeah, there's most of them are just single Randalls. There are the odd one, I think, that have double Randalls. You usually find double Randalls down at the disabled section. I said the disabled section, the priority section. So obviously we have priority seats and they have double Randall because there's no seat in front of them. But every flip-up seat also has double Randalls. And obviously there's one just behind the driver. Fun fact, the driver has their own Randall, their own USB charging in the cab. USB charging in the cab. So let's have a look at the cab. We have 2 speakers. I think one's for the bell and one's for the system OK warning. That's when we turn the bus on. And obviously the cab itself, we have an Allison gearbox with a Thermo King. This is our Thermo King air conditioning unit. The air conditioning is for the driver. This is our Allison gearbox, handbrake, and then obviously the vehicle control panel. On this one is the Wi-Fi reset button, our USB, the ODB port, and the regen inhabit. So if the bus needs to regenerate and it's beeping, it's usually this switch that has been knocked. There are 2 more ports down here that I believe are for the mechanics. Internally, the buttons are very similar to what you'll see on the Blackburn spec in a second. The only difference being, I think we have 1 less button here. We only have 1 set of heating systems, which heats from the front onwards. So you've got doors, suspension to lower when the bus doors are closed and the handbrake's off. If you press it again, it raises it for ferry lift, something the Blackburn buses don't have. Rear fog lights, main beams, headlights, daytime running, saloon cabin 1 and 2, so that's standard, that one, and that's brighter. Driver's cab light dim, heating 1, and if you press it again, it gets heating level 2, and again heating level 3, and 4 turns it off. Check lights. If you hold that down for so long, it brings all the lights on. Mirrors, defrost mirrors. We can press this. Not all of them work, but most of them do. And then reversing on off. The dashboard is again a little bit different on this one. We have no on this bit here, we have no training program. On the Blackburn ones, it has a score system. So it gives a score of how well the driver is. So you've got your ignition and then your fire. And obviously the master switch is away from you guys, which I won't show you. So yeah, body-wise, The front are very similar. I don't think there's any differences in the front of the vehicles. I think most of the bodywork differences lie at the rear. And I'll show you that in a second. So I'll just go to the rear of the vehicles. And I think it's mainly the headlights that are the big differences. The headlights are in a different configuration. So your headlights are 3 and ours are 3 up. So that's the major difference between these two buses is bodywork wise, it's just the headlights are completely different. Looking at the Blackburn Bus Company, number 6 and 7 spec Optare. This is a 16 plate, so this is a Cummins engine. Again, cab, saloon very similar. This one holds 40. Now, I don't know where they get the extra 1 seat on the 464. Maybe someone in the comments could tell me below. And now has 18 standing. So these have been recategorized recently. These used to be able to hold 30 standing. Don't know why, but they have been recently recategorized to 18, which I still think is more than ours. Let's have a look. What was ours again? You'd think I'd know after 2 years of driving them. 16. So they still have more standing than ours, which is again a weird thing. Oh. So yeah, less seats, more standing. Standard Transdev maquette with a blue because it's the Blackburn Bus Company, and no wireless chargers, just poles to hold on to. Again, I think most of these buses are fitted with USB points at the back of each seat, and they are the standard just one black covered randall. Not like ours where most of the purple. Let's have a look back down the saloon. Obviously, all the Blackburn Bus Company sort of pamphlets and information. Now the saloons, the cabs are ever so slightly different. They still have the Wi-Fi reset button, and they have the USB, but they don't have the range and habit or the ODB port on this side. They still have the 2 ports down there for the computers. Come with a Thermal King, and I believe this is a Morse Cummins gearbox. So you lift it, place it into gear. Handbrake's the same, and then control panel, doors, lower, headlights again, saloon lights, front heating, rear heating, and mirrors reversing it. Now you'll notice it doesn't have the checked light on this one. That has been placed just down here for some reason. Who knows? But same way, start up, on and off there once the master is switched. And on these ones, like I said, the shaky camera, it has something called Eco Drive, and it gives you scores on your braking, controlling, and stuff like that. So that is 2 different Optares. 68 plate, 18 plate. What should we have a look at next?